Thank you, Meng Seng. So, good afternoon, my friends, fellow Singaporeans. My name is Pang Heng Chuan. I'm honored to be here today to share my thoughts with you. I work and live in China, I think, for the last over 10 years now. And I've often been also asked, why do you care about opposition politics? I think my simple reply is that I think Singapore can do better. And one lesson I've learned in China is that balance is essential, right? Not just in life, but in politics as well. So in China, there's this concept of yin yang 调和,万事生延, right? So what it means is that when yin and yang are in harmony, all things or many things will flourish. I think in Singapore, when we look at parliament, for example, do we see balance? Okay, for Singapore to truly thrive, we must address the growing challenges our people face. Example like rising cost of living, as mentioned by Meng Seng before, job insecurity, and pressure to balance work and family, right? These are no longer isolated issues, right? They are part of daily lives now. It affects everybody. So a balanced approach will mean that just to ensure that Singaporeans is fair and livable for all its citizens. And this is not about opposing the government for the sake of opposition. It is about refining policies, right? So they serve everyone and not just a select few. Let me talk about immigration, right? A topic that I think I just brought up and also stirred a lot of strong emotions in a lot of us. So at the end of the day, I think we are, right? We are also immigrants before. My grandparents also moved from China to Singapore. All these immigrants actually help us to grow this thing, right? And it will continue to do so. But where is the balance? I think Singaporeans shouldn't feel that we are second-class citizens, first of all, right? And then to always compete for jobs, housing, transportation, and healthcare. We must have the privilege of citizenship, right? To ensure that it must mean something. It must come with fair opportunities. It must come with like things like decent wages and support to help us to build a better future, right, for our families. Then at the same time, right, the opposite side is that we also have to consider businesses, right, especially the small and micro businesses that depend on this manpower, right, that they need to thrive. So balance means that we have to find a middle ground, right, where Singaporeans are prioritized, right, being privileged of citizenship. At the same time, businesses are not left to struggle. So a society like ours is becoming very more complex and dynamic, right? As Singaporeans, we cannot be represented by a single dominant party or even two, right? We need perspectives from different walks of life, from different people, right? People who understand what it takes, in our struggles to adapt and sacrifice, right? So coming back to China, I think China may be a communist country, but actually, to my pleasant surprise, I've seen that there are many diverse voices, right? They are being debated publicly, and there's an attempt to get all these voices being heard, right? So although decisions are made centrally, but actually a lot of ideas and also come up from the ground, right? From the local governments as well, right? So it is not a us versus them kind of mentality, right? There's a lot of collaboration, a lot of discussion, and a lot of dialogue that happens between central and also the local government. And this is what I see, right? And this I feel stands in contrast to the mindset that actually developed in Singapore over the last 60 years, where a single dominant perspective led to an imbalance in our governance. So balance doesn't mean confrontation, right? It means working together to find common ground. So diverse voices in parliament don't create division. I think they should create dialogue. They help us navigate the complexities, right, of our modern life and also find common path forward. So I think that is what Singapore needs today: a balanced, collaborative parliament, right, that will work for the good of everybody. Okay? And restoring balance isn't just a responsibility of politicians, right? I think we all have a role in it. So when you cast your vote, right, you're not just choosing a candidate or party, right? You're choosing the kind of Singapore you want to live in. So do you want a Singapore where decisions are made by a select few, or one where everyone has a voice, right? Do you want to make Singapore that works for all, or only for the few privileged? At Red Dot United, we believe in a Singapore where every citizen feels, valued and supported. A Singapore where fairness, livability are not just ideals, right, but everyday realities. So this is the future we want to build, when the root problems are addressed, right, making life fairer, more livable for people, right? So it addresses the symptoms, right, from declining births to job insecurity, and all these issues are resolved by themselves. So we can get all these fundamentals right. So RDU is part of solution. We hope to be a solution because we stand for balance, fairness, and a better life for all Singaporeans, right? But every Singaporean also has a responsibility, right, to strengthen its political system through checks and balances, right, ensuring fairness, accountability, and harmony in governance, right? So together, basically, we create a yin and yang, right, in our politics, and create a Singapore that we're all proud to call home, right? Thank you.